Okay. Right, we get underway. So welcome. I'm Nicolas David Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. Welcome to this Divine Healing webinar. I'm going to share with you a direct experience of this really powerful work. I'm going to share what it's about initially, formal side of it, because we have people who are going to come cold to this. Okay, so let me just get this, my slides organized. Is it gone? It's still disappeared on me. There it is. Yeah, that's the one I want. We'll get underway. What's technology? Now we can. Okay, so this webinar is about becoming clear, confident, and empowered to deliver your gift of service to the world. The thing that we all as light workers want to really bring out to the world. So we're going to talk about that a bit. And we are going to have a direct experience of divine healing in the process. So, question for you. Are you here to help the world? I feel there's something very special you're meant to do, but you doubt yourself because you're not quite sure what it is or how to go about doing it. So this free group healing webinar is designed to gracefully accelerate the healing of low self-esteem, doubt, feelings of not being good enough. I had all those. So you can feel more clear, confident, and empowered to deliver your gift of service to the world. That's what we're going to do today. So we're going to talk about divine healing, the basic structure of what it's about, and then we're going to actually have a direct experience of it. But I'd like to find out from you guys what brought you here. This will set intention and what you need from this. So just say where you are, what brought you here, and then we can sort of flow from that. Because the webinars are pretty fluid, really, depending on what you need. I'm just looking for my pen here. Here it is. Okay, so just put your hand up, or just put it in the chat. Better to actually, so I can hear you and connect with you. Or if it's in the chat, I'll just read it out. Okay. So who would like to go first? It's entirely voluntary, but it gives me a feel for where you guys are, what you need. Then I can shape the webinar. Energy will shape around that. So you're putting intention into the group energy here. That's what we're doing. Everyone's shy. Some of you guys are not too shy, are you?
No, you have one hand up already, Nicolas.
Who was that? I didn't see that. Yannick, do you want to go?
I think Sakina is going to say something. Maybe she's muted.
Yeah, I think you have to unmute. Or try and talk, Sakina.
My name is Sakina. I'm from the UK, London at the minute. So what I want from this is just clearing off the blocks to me, finding my purpose, my vocation. I've been unable to do that, even though I've done a lot of healing work. I'm still struggling to do healings on myself, first of all. So there seems to be just a lot of blockages.
Yeah.
It's like one step forward and then one step back.
Yeah.
And finances, just massive issue with finances. So
okay.
I need to, thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing. Okay, who wants to go next? Yes, if you keep the video on, okay, that's great, then we can stay connected with you. Thanks. Even if you're moving, it's fine. Who would like to go next? So I need to get a feel for you guys, because it'll just set the intention for the webinar. That's what we're actually doing here. This is not just information, it's more a connection, a bonding of a group, and it'll sort of guide me in the way we do this. It's entirely voluntary though. So
I'm Kasia.
Kasia, welcome back.
We just saw each other yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm from Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm here because recently I got connected to you and this work, and I'm just really looking forward to working out all my blocks. I'm really aligning with my purpose and getting over this horrible cold I woke up with. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to today's session to clear out whatever is hindering me.
Okay. We'll
Thank
see
you
what
very
we can
much.
do. Yeah, thank you. Because divine healing is all about intention. You set your intention, the higher self will flow. If you don't, it's because it's all about asking, you shall receive. But if you don't ask, you won't receive, which is why I'm asking you your intention with this. So, okay. Because remember, you are a spark of the divine. And if you don't command the universe to do something, nothing is going to happen in your life. But if you do command, then things will happen. So, because you're actually in charge, because you're creating reality. But the universe can only respond when you ask, because this is a free will zone. If you don't ask, it cannot intervene. It can do nothing, because you have the brilliance and the pain of free will choice to grow or stay still or whatever. All right. So, yeah.
Maybe I'll go next. Because I first I didn't know why I was here, but now I realize, even through Kana saying what she was saying, I fully align with. I like to really pass the stage of seeing things as blocks. That life becomes even great on many levels, and I have lots of tools. However, maybe there are things I'm not aware of, and this is why I can't change things, because I'm not aware of them.
You can't what? I didn't miss that.
I said, because there might be things I'm not aware of, and that's why I can't change, because the healing can only happen if you consciously embrace what is the issue.
Yes, you have to become conscious, otherwise it doesn't,
Yeah.
nothing changes.
And this is where I'm I'm feeling, is there anything else that I have not looked into that I should, because obviously finances are not always perfect as well in here, and I also feel much like I know I am here. So the matter is just is there a period of transition, and if yes, I'm open to it, and how can I move it on so I can be of service whilst in this world, you know.
Okay. Yeah, the higher self will reveal to you what you need to have in the moment. The fact you set your intention to become conscious means you will gradually become more conscious. That's what you've asked for. So good. All right. Okay.
And I ask for ease and grace too. I desire that.
Yes, that'll be a good idea. And where you tell everyone where you are. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I also live in UK, south of London, in sort of Gillingham, Rochester area, Kent.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Who's next?
If nobody minds, I can go. So my name is Yannick.
Yeah.
I do live in Glasgow, but at the moment I'm in Latvia. So my purpose of visit is for this webinar is actually to connect with you, Nicolas.
Yeah.
To make sort of like a connection.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Kathy, you want to say something where you're reaching for the mouse? No, Diana, you've unmuted. Would you want your hand up? Go for it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Thank you. I am on from Northern California in the United States.
Yeah.
And I am in a divine healing practitioner class. And I really am here to experience the healing, to experience how you work through that process. So I really do not have a specific agenda. I mean, healing is done in layers and layers. It doesn't happen in one day. So I think that that's pretty much it.
Okay. So are you training with Almira, are you?
No, I'm training with a woman that taught me to meditate about 42 years ago. And we work through Divine Mother vibrational healing tools. And yeah, and accessing divine dialogue.
Understood. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else? No. Okay, we'll get underway. All right. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. let's talk a little bit about what divine healing is about. Okay. Back in the early 2000s, Almira and I just mentioned that Almira was the co-founder of the Center for Conscious Ascension. She used to run it with me, but now she's doing something similar, but with her own business. We were looking for a really powerful tool to clear our emotional separation because we had so much karmic stuff that was creating havoc for us, both personally and in our relationship. Okay. Yeah. And so we did a lot of research, especially she did, and she found some tools which looked pretty interesting, and she approached the teachers who were involved to see if they would teach her to teach their tools, but they didn't want to share it. So in the end, she developed with two other colleagues and friends, Mary and Roshan, as they were known in those days, divine healing. And it was channeled from source, because we're in a time of great change. We're in the end times where there's a need to gracefully burn through the ego so we can get back to the essence of who we actually are. So there was a need to burn through our ego onion here. This is the pure love, our soul, which is who we truly are. Then our ego has gone and built itself up with layers, this onion. And what happens here is that this creates this filter that creates the challenges we have, as Ngan was just describing there. So divine healing is all about peeling this ego onion one layer at a time. Okay, in the right order, because your higher self built you, and it knows how, therefore it knows how to dismantle your ego. So we're aligning to higher self, and we're actually commanding it to dismantle us with grace and ease. Okay, and by that I mean it's in a way that keeps us stable. We can still function, but we become clearer. We become a lot less at the mercy of the ego programming, which is created by our soul contract, which some of you are familiar with, or the vibrations of our name. So basically, it provides a simple, quick, and profound, and very accurate set of healing tools that you can use on yourself and on others. It reconnects you to spirit, the part of you outside the body, the soul's the part in the body. It's very empowering because you can actually do it on yourself. If some issue comes up, you can take out your divine healing manual, and then you can shift that issue and become a little freer of the drag weight of the ego and of all the stuff it creates, which most people have had enough of by now. And keys to high consciousness. Perhaps I shouldn't call it enlightenment. Very few people get enlightened, but you can become very conscious with this. When I started using this in 2006, when Almira taught the first divine healing level 1, I realized I had this amazing tool which burned through my ego onions faster than anything else I'd come across. And I spent the first couple of years after learning that one using it nearly every day to clear issues. And because I had such a powerful tool, my soul was pushing out so many programs. And so my life changed radically from the time I started doing this. I became free eventually, after several years of this work, of a lot of the things which were basically emotionally torturing me really and holding me back. So I'm a fan, because it changed my life, enabled my life to really happen. I went from a struggling alternative therapist in the southeast of England to now I have a global teaching business because I actually had enough stuff to enable me to actually do that. It helped me become conscious of all the fundamental underlying programming that was creating my life, and showed me how all my hidden stuff, my hidden beliefs and judgments and all sorts of other lovely things in the ego were creating my reality. So I was 100% responsible because I felt like life had done things to me. I felt like a victim, especially when I was younger. And it's enables you to make your dreams come true eventually. So they move from just being this vision to something which is fully manifest. And allows deep healing and reconnection to the love that we are, to that true essence of spirit, and experience a bit more fun and joy in life, and especially improve my self-worth. That helped enormously, and that helped with the financial side. So that's been quite good for you, Sakina, and to become the master of my life in terms of being able to manifest what I need in life and deliver my gift of service, which is to awaken as many people as possible on earth with this work and with soul contract reading work. So what we're actually doing is that we're diving into the mud of our emotional separation programs, which our egos are pretty allergic to. Egos don't want to feel the pain of all the stuff we're carrying at all. And we're basically diving into it and bringing consciousness to it. When we bring consciousness to it, it transforms and helps us grow lotuses, very beautiful parts of ourselves, because it's all one ultimately. So it's about diving into the mud, really, and then bringing consciousness to all aspects of the darker separation programs we carry, because that's what the soul wants us to do. It wants us to feel the program, even ever so briefly, and then we can transmute it into these. So it's basically moving away from good and evil polarity consciousness, where we say lotus is good, mud bad, and we're just saying this is all one, and we're just changing form. So what we're doing, I'll give you a little model of what's going on here. This is source, all that is on the 12th dimension. And this source, God in a spiritual sense, not a religious sense, wanted to know itself more. So I spent a lot of time thinking about this. We're actually part of this one great soul called Mother, Father, God. So what it did is it expanded its consciousness down through the dimensions, all the way down to the third dimension, this densified dimension, where we perceive that this physical body is solid, but it's actually just densified light, just slowed down. When you look on an electron microscope, we're still light. So it densified itself so much that sparks of the divine of it within us, called our souls, forgot this is actually where we came from. We got so separated. And so our job, because everything that can be learnt by all that is, or source, has been learnt in this universe through incarnating into physical bodies on all sorts of different planets and lots of different types of body types. That's the reason we have planets and solar systems. So sparks of the divine can incarnate, and through the process of ascension, raising your consciousness, see if they can get back to source. Yeah, I'll draw a better picture here. So what divine healing is designed to do is to cut a pathway back to source in consciousness. So like we're going to start in a little while by cutting a pathway through this astral plane, the full dimensional energy interference, astral beings, things like that. And the idea here is to connect back up to the higher self, the part of us that sent our soul down here into our bodies, to allow it to guide us, because we follow the guidance of it in each moment, then we can gradually in consciousness get back to source. And when we allow that high consciousness to embody in us, the high frequency, that raises our frequency, which means more of our emotional separation programs come out, then we get freer of them. And that high consciousness can come into this reality to create a better sort of life. But the key is to clear the ego here as much as possible. So the power of the ego is less than the power of the soul, high consciousness embodying. When that happens, you reach a point of what's called soul integration. That's when your life starts to happen. So the key is to clear the body of everything that the ego is avoiding feeling, which is why we have divine healing. So the high dimensional beings channel through divine healing from many different races and many different dimensions, which is unusual for a healing modality. to help free us so we could ascend back to source. So what are these separation programs I'm talking about? Well, being born, coming into the third dimension, when you're born, come out of your mother, 3 primary programs are set in place. Initially, we feel abandoned by God because we've left the connection to God, which we had in the womb, coming out to the cold, bright world. We feel unworthy to be loved by God because it feels like our ego feels God's rejected me because I got dumped on this third rock from the sun, and we don't trust God. It's the other thing that comes up. So our egos are uniquely made up of these 3 elements in some balance. Everything comes off these 3 programs. And the way people react to this, most people react by going into avoidance, not feeling. They go into addictive patterns like TV, chemicals of all sorts, food, all sorts of distractions to avoid feeling the programs coming up. And those of us on the spiritual path realize, oh, we've got to feel this. But then we unconsciously judge it and feel bad about it because we have this program. But there's a third way, which is divine healing, where it's about turning into the program rather than trying to avoid it, turning into it, feeling it. And actually, the surprising thing is when you feel a program, it's actually a lot less painful than the ego makes out. Because we're bringing feeling consciousness to it and we're sensing where does it come from, the origin. The more we can target that program and the more we can feel it, the deeper the clearing. So what we're actually doing is this. You all have the willingness, desire, and courage to heal. Okay, welcome, Claudia. If you want to actually connect with us on video, you can just click yes on become a panelist, or you can just hang out there in the attendee room. Okay, you can still message me. Oh, you're coming, good. All right. The key is to bring this willingness, desire, and courage to feel the red dot, which is our issue. This could be a low self-esteem, doubt, feelings of not being good enough. Okay, and bring feeling consciousness, which is the sky blue stuff. Initially, we have a little bit of feeling when we bring our awareness into a program, and then it's about bringing more and more of it. Okay, bring more and more of that program in. Okay, as we're ready. And then expanding that. Just trying to get this thing to grow. Because all the soul wants you to do is to feel that negative emotion, that program. That's all it wants. Okay. And when you feel it, if you felt 100% of a program, it will just dissolve because the soul wants to go from one state of feeling the negative emotion, feeling all its way through it. And then once it's felt enough of it, and we transmute it. So with divine healing, we say, okay, I've felt it all, and I command the higher self to clean that program up, to dissolve it. Then that layer will be gone. The ego's on to us. It's not so keen on this idea because divine healing is a bit of a threat to it, a mortal threat to its existence, because it believes it must have these programs to function. Okay. So it puts up a layer of this turquoise emotional ice, so we don't feel things, so we numb out. What you can't feel, you can't heal. So a bit of a stalemate. So what we do with divine healing is that we, with love and grace, I'm going to change my pen. With love and grace, we break through gently through the ego defenses and bring our conscious feeling awareness into here. And then basically we start to dissolve the program. And we do this one layer at a time with our onion over here. And eventually we keep at it, which is what which is what I did, especially most people do once they learn this, you eventually get back to a lot more clarity. You get free of the prison of the ego. Takes time though, and dedication, but it means a much more graceful life starts to gradually manifest. Okay, for those of you who are soul contract practitioners or thinking about doing that course, this is a great tool that goes with it, because the soul contract reading work lays out the spiritual map of life, and divine healing cleans up all the programs blocking you moving forward, blocking your clients moving forward on that spiritual map of life. Okay. Hi, Claudia. Thanks for joining us. Actually, this is a good time. Do you want to just say what where you are and what brought you here? Then we're going to get into the next phase. Perfect timing.
Oh, okay. You want me to tell you what? I have my book right here.
You got the book? Yeah. So
Yes.
what
No,
brought you
this
here?
is actually the second one I purchased. But yeah, I actually have been doing these for, I don't know, a little over 5 years. And I channel through this method. So I've had instances where I was told that I should learn Hebrew. And I was like, well, why? And I'm like, they're like, I can't tell you, but you should learn Hebrew. And it's funny how this book came about, but I channel through this. And I have a great idea for an oracle deck. I'm just not sure how to apply it, but I think once I design it, that I will be able to channel through it as the hero's journey. But just an idea. Anyway, I'm Claudia. I'm from Illinois, North Illinois, near Lake Michigan. Nice to meet you.
Welcome. And what's brought you to this particular webinar? What's your intention for it?
It was free, and I'm doing a brush up too, because I haven't actually read the book. I have, you know, charts and I've done some readings, and there's a couple questions I still have about just how I think, not like name overlays, or I don't remember right now. I have notes somewhere, but I just like to brush up and see how you're doing for free.
Okay. All right. So this is mainly a divine healing webinar. We're not so much talking about the soul contract.
I could always use a healing.
Yeah.
That's why, because in my position, it's hard to find enough electricity to help me move through what I'm doing, because for my soul path is that the teacher of teachers. Okay, so what I do is I don't do like these things. I don't sell these, because I become extremely entangled with the people that I do these for. And so the universe brings me the people and they involve in my life. I will always have very intense, close, intense relationships. That's in my charts. So when I asked his spirit to make sure that I wasn't wasting my energy on people and connecting to bad energy. So I get my signs that it's time to apply these spiritual healings. So my energy is like Ipecac for the soul. That's hard to sell. When someone ends up falling in my path, by the time I know they're ready for this, because a lot of them aren't yet ready for this, you know, I'm usually just like, I'm sorry, your life's about to go up in smoke. Because there's something, like, we have a contract that I'm supposed to help you just clear it out. So yes, I can use the healing, because a lot of times you get a lot of backup. So getting that extra charge from someone who has more experience than me, the charge from everybody right now, and everybody right now obviously has, you know, a knowing and ability to do this, because they're here, right?
Okay. We'll see what we can do.
I could talk all day. Don't listen to me.
Yeah. No, you've nice introduction. Welcome back, Alex. We just haven't, we're sort of we've just explained what divine healing is, but can you just share briefly what your intention is by coming to this webinar? So you connected to the group energy. We're sort of setting intention here.
Hi, yes, hi. Sorry, I'm late. So I'm very interested in the healing aspect of the soul contract. I just want to do my spiritual work now. That's basically it. I'm trained in kinesiology, so I understand the layers of healing and peeling back layers and all of that sort of stuff. I was drawn to that originally, but yeah, I just feel like this is on a deeper level, and I feel like my soul just wants to carry on.
Okay. All right. Well, divine healing is based on kinesiology because two of the founders of it were kinesiologists. Just
Oh
that,
wow, I didn't know that.
just that it goes faster. Okay.
Okay,
Faster,
that's amazing.
faster and cleaner, and the way it works. So two kinesiologists and a medical doctor designed it. So.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Okay.
Yay! No, I'm excited.
All right. So we're going to have a direct experience of divine healing now. So for Claudia and Alex, just basically it's based on the idea of asking you shall receive. So you caught up to that. And the higher self designed you, built all your ego construct, therefore it knows how to take it apart, provided you ask in the right way. You're aligned and you ask for it to be removed. And bring consciousness to that process. So you feeling consciousness, so you can feel your way through the different layers of the ego as they dissolve. Because that's all the soul wants you to do, to feel your way through one layer, then the next one, and the next one. Okay. This is sort of a summary of it, really. Okay.
Thank you.
So we're going to have a direct experience of it now. And I'll just share the chart once more, share what we're going to do first. So back up to this diagram here. Okay. So we are going to, no, wrong diagram, on this one. What we're going to do first, so we're going to punch a hole through this level of astral interference, all these beings and stuff on the astral plane that's stopping us connecting to higher consciousness. They're stopping us from aligning to the higher self. And if you can't align to the higher self, it means you don't get the right information to clear the ego. So we're going to clear a bunch of energy interference, okay? That's the first thing we're going to do. So what I want you guys to do is close your eyes, okay? And take your shoes off and have your feet flat on the ground to ground. And we're going to do what's called an interference chart. Divine healing is made up of 26 charts that were channeled to the three founders of it, Almira, Roshan, and Mary. And they gradually put them together over a whole year. So the whole program was basically produced. So I want you to close your eyes. It's very important to keep your eyes closed so the mental body doesn't try and figure out, is this real? What's going on? What's he up to? Because 80% of your mental energy comes out your eyes. I want you just to be sitting vertical in your seat. Then what I want you to do is to lean back off the vertical so you're more in the right brain feminine receptive mode. Even though your ego be tempted to lean forward to try and kind of figure this out. It's not about figuring it out. It's about feeling your way through it. That's what matters with this work. It's all about feeling. Okay, it's not something to be understood, but it's something to be experienced. So I've already opened the energy for divine healing, level 1. There are 5 levels. I've set the space which you walked into here. And we're going to clear earthbound souls first. And these are beings who have left the physical body. And they're hanging out with you because you carry a similar programming to what their personality was carrying when it was actually embodied. And they're basically being a bit of a nuisance, really. Because they're triggering you to have certain negative emotions and experiences so they can feed off those. And we're going to remove them now. This will be done quietly, so I want you to breathe through your mouth. That keeps you in the body. If your ego wants to breathe through the nose, it means it doesn't want to feel something. So that just keeps you in your head. So here we go. I'm going to earthbound souls first. Okay, so the earthbound souls are being taken up a tunnel of light to the astral plane or higher. Feel the shift. We thank the angels who helped us and assisted us in removing these. Gratitude is very important in divine healing because it opens a direct pathway to source, and it bypasses the ego completely, and that's how magic happens. I do a manifestation meditation in the evening. It's all about gratitude at sunset, and amazing what turns up the next day. So with next group of beings, we're going to remove our extraterrestrial presences. There's nothing to worry about. They're just very curious about us. You won't see them. They're at a high dimensional level. They're very curious about us because we have a vast range of emotions that we experience on Earth. And many of these races have gone very left brain technological and lost the feeling body, the emotional body. And that's required to ascend back to God. So they have a bit of a technical hitch in ascension. So they're want to learn how we work. They're being a bit of a nuisance. So we're going to remove them now. So just be aware in your body of any sensations or in your body, on the surface of your body, as this happens. You might vibrate, you might yawn. Want to yawn now. As this energy leaves. Okay, these beings are being removed now. Now we're going to remove what we call discarnates, entities, and attachments. These look a bit like those little blobby guys in Ghostbusters, for those of you who've seen it. They're from the low astral planes. There's a whole bunch of them here, being a nuisance, really, trying to keep you from connecting to higher consciousness. Okay, they're leaving now. My body's shivering. I want to yawn again. Feel the energetic shift. Okay, we're going to make sure these guys don't find you again. You're raising your frequency so they can't find you. Excuse me. Okay. What I want you to do now.
Did you put yes? Okay. Did you read it?
If everyone can go on stay on mute, it'll be great. Thanks. Yeah. So what we're going to do now, so Laquandria, we're in the middle of the meditation, so just close your eyes. If you just close your eyes and just flow with us, we're actually doing a demo of divine healing now, because that'll actually keep you in the feeling space. And just close your eyes and lean back off the vertical and connect to the feminine. As if you're not driving. Yeah, it's like you're in the car. You're not driving, okay. Yeah, so just the main thing, Yeah. So if you're able to close your eyes, that'll be great. Yeah. And we are going to go and clear some main low frequency programs now. All right. What I want you guys to do is to focus on that special thing you're here to do in the world, even if you're not sure what it is. Okay, you can feel it in your heart. You know something's there. If you do know what it is, focus on that. Focus on manifesting that as if it's already done. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Focus on the final state. This is how you manifest it. So what we're actually going to do here is that we're going to trigger the ego, because the ego is going to say, no way that we want you to do that. We're going to trigger and ambush all its hidden programs that are in the way of that. Okay. And then we're going to clear them. All right. Because most of the time we spend looking at our emotional navels thinking, well, that's not working and that's not working. So therefore, by the law of attraction, we get more of it. So we're going to switch that and use the law of attraction to start to create what we desire. But in the process, this will bring up any barriers like low self-esteem, low self-worth, some of the things you guys have been talking about. So that an ego will be forced to bring it up into feeling consciousness. It fights hard so you don't feel it, but we're going to trigger it so you do feel it, and then we're going to clean that layer out. Okay. So breathing through your mouth. It's very important. Breathing through your mouth is feeling what comes up. And even if part of you has felt, I'm never going to get there. I've had that a lot of my life. I'm never going to get there. I just had trust this and have faith. Remember, you are a spark of the divine. You actually are a spark of God incarnate, even though you may not believe that. And by focusing on the feeling, it will be like as if it's already done. Your mission is manifested. Okay. Then what starts to happen is that that starts to manifest, and anything in the way starts to come up. And that's the bit we want to clear here. You'll be one step closer to what you desire. And the universe will start to work out. It'll leave the universe to work out how to get there. What I want you to do is whatever emotionally comes up, whatever program comes up for you, just accept it for what it is. Because most of the time we say, oh, I'm too conscious for that. I've done too much work. I can't still be having that one. Just unconditionally accept and love that program that's coming up, that feeling's coming up, that main low frequency program, whatever it is, whatever story the ego's telling you about it. Bring your consciousness into that program. Remember the big red dot of the program I showed you in the presentation. Feel that program. Just drop your awareness into whatever it is. And open to all aspects of it. Probably something people might feel a bit strange to drop into it. And feel any of the subtle attachments the ego has to hanging on to this thing. There's usually plenty of those. Become aware of where this program comes from. It could be from a past life. It could be when you were 2. It could be what happened yesterday. Often it's childhood stuff. The more consciousness we can bring to a program, the deeper the clearing. I'm aware of any feelings of being bad for even having this program. Become aware of any judgment your ego has. My ego says, oh, I'm too advanced to have that program. I teach this stuff. I shouldn't have that. But I still have a ton of programs. Everyone's work in progress. It's going to do everything it can so you don't feel it or bring awareness to it. So be aware of the games your ego plays. The more you can add to that program, the more it can integrate and heal. Now, because you're aligned to the higher self and you're feeling conscious of the program, we're going to clean it out. So you as a spark of the divine are going to command the universe to clean it out. So if you open your eyes and switch on your mics, we're going to do some command codes. Basically, these are commanding the universe from the Divine Healing Manual, level 1. This is from the main level frequency program chat. So this is you. These are not just words. You are, as a spark of the divine, are commanding the universe to do something. So you must mean it. For those of you parents, you know, if you don't say strongly to your kids what you really mean, they're just going to completely ignore you. Okay? So think of yourself as a parent here, commanding something to happen. You know what works and doesn't work. Okay? Bring that power of the soul out. Okay? And it's very important not to rush this. You must be present with each word. It's not just the mind will want to try and read this out and get it over and done with. We're going to read it in bite-sized chunks and pause after each part of it. So we're going to ask Saint Germain, one of the Ascended Masters, to help us. So just repeat after me. I'm going to say it in bite-sized chunks. Turn your mics on because then you can hear each other. It's more powerful that way. As a group healing is very powerful here. Okay. You hear each other. Okay, repeat after me. We are Saint Germain.
We ask Saint Germain
To pour the purple flame
to pour the
purple
purple
flame
flame
through the aura and subtle bodies
through the aura and
The
subtle
aura
bodies
to burn away all low frequency energies
to burn
burn
away
away
all
all
low
low
frequent
frequency
energies
energies
that we have discovered,
that we
we
have
have
discovered.
so that new higher level vibrations
That new
Those
high.
New
high
higher
level
level
vibrations
can be accessed.
can
can
be
be
accessed.
access.
Okay, so we have a little pause there. So Saint Germain's got to go off and do all this. Okay, because if we rush it, what will happen is that we've asked for too many things to happen at once, so nothing will be happening cleanly. Okay. Saint Germain and higher self,
Saint Germain and higher self,
please burn out in one go.
please burn out in one go.
go.
100% the core issue
100% the core issue
for all levels and dimensions.
through all levels
All
and
levels and
dimensions.
dimensions.
I'm going to pause there, let that happen. The energy is sort of busy, you can feel it buzzing around, and it sort of just drops. Ooh, just started to drop now. 100% the original cause through all levels and dimensions.
100% the
original
original
cause
cause
through all levels and dimensions.
We'll pause there for that to happen. 100% the source of its power through all levels and dimensions.
100% the source of its power through all levels and dimensions.
100% all energy attached through all levels and dimensions.
100%
all
all
energy
energy
Attached through all levels and dimensions.
100% all of its effects through all levels and dimensions.
100%
all
all
of its
of effects through all levels and dimensions.
through all levels.
I really want to yawn after that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just feel the shift there. My vision's gone brighter. Okay. Is it that shift? So divine healing is like an emotional laser. If you're really aligned and focused, what happens is that you're aware of a program because the ego triggers it because it knows you're doing this work. You laser it out by bringing feeling consciousness, which is what we did up here. And then we got the higher self to clean it out. Saint Germain to help you out. And then it can be like you can't even remember what was cleared because it's completely gone in some cases, which is what you want. Okay, I'm just talking about just to let you guys integrate, and we're going to do the next bit. So how are people feeling? Well, we'll talk a little bit more before we do them. There's a couple more charts to do here because this is to finish the process. Anyone want to share how they felt in the initial process there? Just wave at me, or Sakina, then Claudia.
I just feel very light, like there was a few heavy programs and they've been released, so I feel I can breathe better.
Yeah, good. Good. So you can play the video back when you receive it in a few days and go through the process of another layer out because it'll retain the same transmission.
Perfect, thank you.
Claudia?
I am here to accelerate the process. Do you see my screen blinking?
Yep.
This is the effect I have on all technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully I don't short out on you. But I am, yeah. It's very powerful, divine healing. I work with the Archangel Raphael energy, the green ray spectrum. So sometimes I'm just called, and here I am.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to share how that was? This just gives you time to integrate.
How do you do it?
Who's that? Is
How do you share?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you have to raise your hand.
I do.
that Lydia?
Yes, hi.
Yeah, Lydia,
So
go for it.
I felt very clear. I felt very good. And there's just a feeling of pleasure and peace within myself right now.
Okay, good.
It was nice. Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to share? Okay, we'll continue then. All right, so about 80% of what we're dealing with in this life is unresolved past life issues. Okay, so the soul brings these past life feeds and downloads them from the Akashic records because this past life stuff only exists in the records. Simply when you're in the high dimensions, we don't have basically no karma really in the high dimensions. It's just part of the game we play, separation from God. But because we're in bodies, we have past life karma. So what I want you to do is focus again on the same thing. That special thing you're here to do. If you're aware of it, you're still trying to get to it, just focus on it as best you can, what you do know, or even the intention of becoming conscious of what it is. And what we're going to do is we're going to trigger the ego to show us the past life feeds. And if you're energetically with your eyes closed, when you're leaning back from the vertical, so very important to have the eyes closed, okay? Okay, because then you can actually connect with it, because the mind will try and work out, it's going to say, is this real? Or it'll make all sorts of rubbish up, okay? So bringing consciousness to it. So close your eyes and focus on the special thing you're here to do as best you can, with the intention of becoming aware of any past life feeds which are blocking that manifestation.
This chair is cold.
And you may get a sense of what they are. There may be multiple ones happening there. I have 3. and just be unconditional with them, just accept them for what they are. I've got a couple of lies of misusing money, personality misuse money, which makes it challenging in this life at times. So now I want you to turn the microphone on, now that you're conscious of those past lies, and we're going to do a past life clearing command code.
That's what I need.
We all do, yep. So I'm going to find the past life chart here. We're actually going to use what's called a past life death chart, but we're going to do a slight variation on it, okay? What we need to do here. So stay present with what you picked up from the past lives. Microphone's on. We can do this in bite-sized chunks. We're not going to do traumatic deaths, we're just going to go traumatic lifetimes here. That's all we're going to do. Okay, repeat after me. By still leaning back, the higher self, please clear, heal, and integrate.
Higher self.
Higher self,
Please
please
clear,
heal
heal,
and
and integrate
integrate
All these files and memories,
All
all
these
these
files
files
and memories,
including all cellular memories,
including all
including all
cellular
cellular
memories,
memories,
the DNA and the subatomic levels.
the
the
DNA
DNA and the
subatomic level.
subatomic levels.
I'm now ready to heal
I am now ready to heal
all traumatic lifetimes
all
traumatic
traumatic
lifetimes
lifetimes
at all levels and dimensions,
at
at
all
all
levels
levels and dimensions,
dimensions,
all time frames,
all
all
time
time frames,
realities, and universes.
realities
realities,
and
and
universes.
universes.
Pause there and let that clean out. The higher self's busy clearing that out. I'm feeling like these cords are being pulled out my back. I'm getting quite a lot of interference from somebody. There's a lot of, yeah. I don't know who that is. Okay. I command that any soul fragments
I command
Command
that
any
any
soul
soul
fragments
fragments
held with these memories
held
held
with
with
these
these
memories
memories
and are returned to me,
are
are
now
now
returned
returned to me
fully whole and intact,
fully
fully
whole and
and
intact
as appropriate.
as
appropriate.
I welcome these soul fragments back.
I
welcome
these
these soul
self
fragments back.
fragments back.
We'll pause there. Well, that's going to happen. Past lives get shattered when we get impacted by strong experiences. We're going to bring ourselves back to ourselves. I command that the whole holographic matrix
I
Command
command
that
the whole holographic matrix
be repaired through all layers and levels,
be
repaired
repaired
through
through all layers
and
and levels,
then brought into full alignment,
and then
brought
into
into
full
full
alignment,
alignment,
integration and balance,
integration and balance,
to allow for wholeness to emerge.
to allow
allow
for
for
wholeness to
wholeness to
emerge.
emerge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just embrace that shift. No, I really want to yawn. And you just let that integrate. Okay, how are people feeling after that one? A little bit of feedback while that integrates before we do the next chart. Anyone want to share how that was? Claudia?
Okay, so I feel that calling back my soul fragments, I felt a sense of joy and got very teary-eyed, because part of what I deal with on a daily basis is like, not adrenal fatigue, but like hypersomnia. It's one step before narcolepsy, and it's due to all of my energy through the ether, in which the power I've given away as a healer. And calling those soul fragments back is still, it's like letting out a coop of chickens and then them going in every direction. Like you can only run one direction at a time. So every time I do that, it just gives me a little more. But so.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to share how that was, clearing those past lives? No? Okay, we're going to move on to the next thing.
Oh my God. Calling back my small fragments, honey. Leave me alone. I was gonna mute, sorry.
So what happens is that when we do divine healing, which is very powerful, it starts to dismantle the ego. It's like pulling apart a sweater. You're pulling all the strands out, things start to disintegrate. But the thing is, we need to reintegrate regularly so that you stay stable and still function. So we infuse, in this case, we're going to infuse energetic nutrition, and that's a particular specific frequency that you're going to choose, and that will help integrate all that we've done. And it's something which will bypass the conscious ego mind, which is actually the main barrier to us becoming whole again. So I'm going to find the nutrition chart on level 1, and we're going to clear that. Oh, it's gone past it. Here it is. In the wrong direction. Okay. So if you guys could go on mute now, and then we're going to share this chart. Thanks. Okay. So this is nutrition, and we're going to use the higher self to actually choose which one we want. So it normally says pick a letter A to D, but what I want you to do is that I'm going to say to you, pick a number 1 to 4 with your eyes closed. And the first number that drops into your head will be the correct answer from the higher self. So everyone close their eyes and lean back off the vertical, so you're in the feminine state. Okay. It's not about working it out. Okay, lean back off the feminine state, and then just do exactly as I say now. Pick a number 1 to 4. And then write that down. First number is the correct number. Anything else is the ego just messing around with you. And so those of you who've got amino acids, there's lots of them here. You don't have to understand what they are, what they do. Just allow a divine intelligence to work this out. If you've got amino acids, close your eyes. We're going to do the same thing, but except there's 25 of them to choose from. It's important to lean back and just feel the energy. Okay, so close your eyes and pick a number 1 to 25 and write that down. And write that number down and write down what it is. Say it was 11, it's histamine. Write that down. So what you're doing is you're putting this into what we call the divine healing stack. It's an energetic container that carries all the intentions that you're setting as you progress through divine healing. Normally sessions are about an hour to 2 hours, hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay. Those of you got B, essential fatty acids, is a frequency. Okay. This is a the actual physical substance carries a frequency, and we're just calling it a frequency without having to have the physical stuff. Okay, close your eyes, those with B or 2 essential fatty acids. Pick a number 1 to 19. Write that down and look up what it is, and write down which one it was. And then we're going to go to 3 now. 3 is minerals. You guys who got minerals, it's 3. Close your eyes. And pick a number 1 to 21. Write that down. First number. And write down what it is. So you got 2, it's calcium, frequency of calcium. Okay, those of you who got 4 or D, close your eyes. And pick a number 1 to 26. Look up on the list which one vitamin it is and write that down. That'll be your frequency that you're going to work with. Okay, so you all got your frequencies, hopefully. Okay.
I'm a little confused.
Okay, what number did you get, Claudia?
When you first started talking, are we supposed to pick a number for each category?
No, I said pick a number 1 to 4. What number did you get?
Well, 4.
Okay,
And then
okay, so on 4, you just put, it means D. So pick a number 1 to 26.
oh yeah, and well, the second number, it's funny though, I don't know. Yeah, now it's totally gone. But and the charts, as I was looking up and the numbers that were going through my head, because I don't follow directions very well, was the histidine, which I have lots of allergies, and sulfate is my number 1 allergy. It causes me really problems. So, and then B12, 12 is really a number I go to a lot. And the vitamins, if that's the first initial 4 with B12, then B12, that's the energy vitamin that I need to help, right? Because
Yeah.
B12.
Okay. That'll be your number then. That's the one you need.
Okay.
Let's write that down. Okay. Now, we're going to all together do this command code at the top, and whatever frequency of nutrition you selected will be infused into you. Okay, so microphone's on, and we're going to say this command code together. Higher self, please encode this nutrient
Higher
Yourself.
Please encode this nutrient
in the perfect balance
In the perfect
in the
balance
perfect balance
that is required,
that it is required,
and clear and align
and clear and align
all pathways
all pathways
for maximum assimilation,
for maximum assimilation,
absorption,
absorption,
and utilization.
and utilization.
Okay, so close your eyes, and it's going to infuse. It's going to come down vertically from the higher self into your crown chakra, down your central column, and then it'll radiate out to the entire body. Just feel that frequency coming in. And it's going to settle you and integrate you from all the other charts we've just done. You have to regularly integrate yourself after a couple of charts. Okay, so open your eyes now and just become conscious of how you feel. Anyone want to share how that was? Sakana?
Feel a lot more energized
Yeah.
and grounded.
Okay, good. Good.
I'll agree with this.
Lydia, do you want to say something?
I agree. It was very grounded and very, very clear, very, very soothing.
Okay, good. Anyone else want to share how that was?
I'd like to share.
Kathy?
With each of these clearings, I definitely feel a lot lighter and my heart is not pounding, but I'm very, very cold. Something else that I'd like to add is about 6 feet away outside, I have a huge wind chime. And every time we do a clearing, the wind chime starts sounding off.
Yeah. Yeah, I think someone's trying to talk to you.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're feeling, is it freezing cold you're feeling, Kathy?
Pardon?
Is it freezing cold coming out your body that you're feeling?
Actually, it's more my extremities, like my hands, my feet, but it is going up my legs now. So, I mean, it's not like freezing cold, but it's very cool.
Yeah, you're getting a cellular release coming out.
Yes,
That's what's
yes.
happening as you clear each layer of the programming. Yeah. Anyone else want to share anything else on that? No? Okay.
Hi, Nicolas.
Okay, who's that?
Hey. Yeah, it's Christine. I just want to know, I just want to ask, why do we feel the shivers?
The shiver is the energy shift, Christine.
Oh,
Yeah. So that means stuff's released and your body has to adjust to it because those programs have been locked in your cells a long time. It just came out.
okay, thank you.
I'm
But I will stay as an
freezing too.
attendee. Okay.
Yeah.
So cold.
Thank
My
you.
hands are like ice cubes right now.
Yeah, that's probably shock coming out, Claudia. Ice,
Usually,
if it's ice cold, it'll be shock.
Well, but can you repeat why this shock is just temporary, I assume? Because I have the same. I'm very
You have to
cold.
bring the microphone closer to your mouth, Beata. The sound's breaking up a lot.
Yeah, this
So-
is, sorry, I'm back here. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I just wanted to check because the coldness is so intense. Is that just temporary, I hope?
Oh yeah, it's just the shock which has always been in your cells associated with that program that you integrated coming out the cells. Okay, and that's a good sign. It means it's coming out. It's an energetic shock. It's not a physical cold. It's an energetic cold.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lydia?
It's interesting. I have neuropathy and it's beyond cold that I don't feel it. So it feels like I'm frozen, but it doesn't affect me because I have neuropathy. It's weird because I'm not cold, but I know if I were to touch or move my feet, they're frozen. They're almost at frozen. Crazy.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, it's just the way the body releases stuff because you asked it to release. Okay.
Yeah, I don't feel cold. It's just
All right.
frozen.
Anyone else want to share how that was?
Interesting.
No? Okay. So that's a taste of divine healing. It's all about aligning to the higher self, surrendering to it. It's not about figuring out what's going on because the mind will never get it right because it created a lot of the stuff. It's about aligning to the higher self and allowing it to guide you and following the right flow through the charts. And there are 26 charts in divine healing. I'll show you. Okay. And the higher self knows exactly how you were built because it built you. All right. And it knows where all your programs are. And it knows the right order in which to dismantle them, which is what we had a little taste of today. And this is a level 1 manual. So just adjusting the webcams here. So it's about empowering yourself, changing your DNA. These are the programs we have. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. We have 26 charts, so 26 healing charts here in divine healing. And the higher self will work its way through in the right order. And it's about surrendering, not trying to figure this out. So what we did is we did interferences first to clean out blockages to connecting with the higher self. Then we did main low frequency programs to clear blockages to manifestation of your true gift of service. And we cleared past life, not death. I just adjusted the chart. Past lives, blocking manifestation of your gift. Then we did nutrition to integrate. So when we teach this, basically it's over 4 days, and we follow the order of the higher self, the overall group consciousness, which you had an experience of today, and it guides us. Every workshop's a little different. And basically, we spend 4 days on Zoom learning the theory of how each chart works. I demonstrate it on someone in the class, if it's a complex chart, and then you go and give and receive this in breakout rooms in Zoom. So you get a massively powerful healing intensive over 4 days as you learn this. So you can use it on yourself and on others by the time you finish. And for the simpler charts, basically I explain how it works, and then we do it on the whole class. So we spend about 4 days doing that. And so you come out the end squeaky clean, really shifted in consciousness. It's very strong, and sometimes it's hard to remember what you actually did, just that you feel a lot lighter because it's so clean the way the programs leave. And you learn an awful lot about yourself in the process of what your programming is. And the ego is not going to like it because you've got a very powerful tool here. But I found it the fastest way to rise in consciousness, even though I do have resistance at times to it. So the way we structure this is that you do about 4 1.5-hour slots a day. So we have 20-minute breaks, two 20-minute breaks, and 1 hour meal break, to actually go through all this. And you leave with an amazing tool at the end, which will transform my life, and it transforms the lives of the practitioners who actually do this quite radically. So any questions on the process? It's simpler just to have a direct experience of it. No, any questions or comments?
I would like to ask.
Bring the microphone up, Beata. So
Yeah, I'll just put it back in closer to me. I would like to ask, because I did do with you the Divine Healing Master Key. Obviously, it was that 2007 or 8, I can't remember. At some point, I stopped using it, kind of forgot about it, and don't know why. And so now I have that manual right in front of me. So has anything changed that since?
Nothing's radically changed, no.
No.
No, I think there have been improvements, little incremental improvements to the manuals. You can ask Almira for an updated manual if you like, if you want the latest one, because she's streamlined some of it. But the essential charts are still the same. So probably ego blanked you out, Beata, because it realized when you're using it, it's actually a threat to it. That's why you forgot about it.
Yeah, I just don't know. I've used it for a while, and then I stopped it, and then So you think it was the ego?
It's always the ego.
Yeah. And then I also wanted to not know what's under each code, so I actually put only the numbers and letters, so I don't know what it is, because I was mistrustful at the time. Because if I knew what was under, I might go for it, if you know what I mean. So I blanked out, and I had only numbers and digits or letters.
Yeah.
Because it was helping me to be more knowing it's going to be authentic. So when you were doing command, sometimes you were switched off, in a sense of Mike was switched off. Is it because we don't need to hear the beginning of clearing?
The reason for that is this is a public video, and people can take this material and misuse it. So I just wanted to give enough so you get a feel for it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because this is not a private workshop. This is
I understand.
Hundreds of people watch the video. It was just to protect the intellectual property of it. That's the reason.
And just returning to it, it doesn't mean there is any switch off. You can reconnect instantly at any time.
What do you mean?
What I mean, if I haven't used it for a long time, it's not like it's been my ability rusted. It's basically you just reconnected at any time.
You just go back in, do the opening and close opening, do, Amara taught you how to use it, and then just start again.
Okay.
If things are blocking in your spiritual business, then do divine healing on whatever's blocking. It'll come up, and then you'll find it will unlock in your business. You see.
Okay.
That's what I used to do when I started off. And then the phone would ring or the email would come. In those days, it was the phone.
Yeah, I understand.
Things will start moving. It could be on any issue if you're blocked on something.
Oh, and the last question I have, because I remember we were okay to do it on others. Do we need to have permission of our children to do healing on them?
If they're under 18, you can do whatever you like to your kids. But if they're sort of 14 or 15, then obviously you want to ask them.
Okay.
And it's best if they can be in the session like that. But otherwise, if they're much younger than that, you can do what you want, provided they're resting, preferably asleep, in a relaxed, receptive state.
Okay, mine is now 18.
Well, then you better ask him or her.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Any other questions on that? No. Just in the chat. Okay, so nearly there. So let me get down to. Okay. So if you're interested, thinking about learning this, the next one, the spring one, we run them spring, summer, and autumn. The next one is over 2 weekends. We call it California Mom Special because they always ask me, can you please do it on the weekend? Because I don't have any holiday left and my husband's got to have the kids. So we do it in spring. We do 11th and 12th and 18th and 19th, 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK time. This is so we cover from California. It's a 4:30 start, but it means it's a 9:30 finish in Europe. And I can only teach to 8:30 from trying this out. 7:30 a.m. start in Eastern time, 1:30 p.m. start in Europe. Okay, so we try and sort of balance the time zones because that's where most of the people come from, although we get quite a few from Asia now. And if you're interested, you can secure your place with a deposit of £193 or $24 approximately, depending on the exchange rate, because it's changing a lot. And you can do that at thedivinehealingtraining.com. You can find out more about that. And the course fee is $571 or £664 or $664 US, which is equivalent to about 5.5 hours of private sessions. So you can clear 80% of your issues yourself with this work. And the other 20% needs an experienced practitioner to hold space for core ego constructs. So it's a very efficient way of getting on with your life, getting to that special gift of service. It helped me enormously to get there. So yeah, any questions you can email me or say them now. So that's one of my gifts of service to the world, is to bring this in. And I went from being totally emotionally numbed out most of my life to teaching this emotional workshop. So it's sort of like God having a bit of a joke, really. And so, yeah, it's been quite a challenge for me to learn how to teach this. So, okay, any final words, anyone, or questions before we go? Oh, hang on, someone sent me a message over here. Okay. Okay. All right. Who's that? Okay, thanks, Sakana. Yeah, she had to leave to express her gratitude and appreciation and love. And if you want to experience this again, when the video goes out, you will have the same transmission as you're receiving now. So you want to do more healing, do the video, but make sure you're not in the car. Make sure that you are in a quiet space because you're going to get very altered from it.
And,
okay.
Any recommendations for after healing? Now?
You have to bring the microphone to your mouth, Pia.
Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting about it. Any recommendations? What's best now after the healing? Is there any recommendation?
Drink lots of water. Okay. Ground yourself. Go in the garden. It's not too cold. Hug a tree or something. Just take it easy. Okay, no clubbing, Beata, tonight.
No, if it ever was. But so just double checking, do I contact Almira through the same email as you have, or she's in a separate business?
She is Center of Love and Enlightenment. Search for that.
Okay, Center for Love and Enlightenment.
Yeah, Center of Love and Enlightenment. Yeah, and she'll be able to get you the latest manual.
Okay. Thank you very much for that.
All right.
Thank you. That was very appreciated.
Okay. Anything else, anyone? Any other questions? No? Okay.
Just dropped in a chat, Nicolas, if there will be a physical presence possible in a class.
What do you mean by that?
If there would be a physical presence in a class.
You mean turning up physically?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm just doing it from my office space. So there's actually no space for it because it's a global class, Yannick. You have to be online anyway. We don't mix the two. You can't be in person. You still have to be on a computer to be in the class to connect to everyone else. And we work purely online with us because it's global. So we don't do physical classes anymore because I gave up on that idea because there are too many people from too many different places. Okay. And it doesn't work to have a mixed Zoom and in person. I've tried it. It doesn't work very well because it's a different dynamic altogether. Who's that, Alex? Yeah. So yeah, it's only online nowadays. Okay. So
Sorry, this is my boy.
Yeah, it's just as powerful in online as it is in person. Because I have to focus. If I have 25 people, I have to focus on 25 people. I can't have someone else in the space. It's just not going to work. Okay, because I've tried that in the past. Okay. If everyone was just in England, I'd do it in person, but they're not in about half a dozen countries or more usually nowadays. So.
Well, I have many questions, but not for here. So.
Okay.
So maybe like an email, perhaps an email, and then I am definitely looking into what I want to go forward with for myself in the way of working with healings and for my own upkeep, because I move so much energy. Like I'm pretty good at just feeling on how I should release something just emotionally, but I think especially with some of the frequencies that I deal with, that it would just be nice to learn some of these. I mean, the surefire way, that was incredible experience. The numbers have anything to do with, so the energy brings about, so the energy number 22 is a master number, so the toxicity for that is toxin.
No, the numbers used here do not relate to the soul contract.
Okay, because you're just like pick a number and then you'll intuitively find it, so it has nothing to do with the frequency, the numbers that follow the frequencies.
It has nothing to do with soul contract work. It's just a number mapping system, kinesiological number mapping system, to allow the higher self to tell you which chart to work on, which specific item in a chart to work on. So
okay,
it's completely separate systems.
The modality of communication for these clearings of these healings is what you're saying. I'm just trying to understand the method. Where did it come from?
It comes from source, ultimately. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Anything else? No? Okay. Alex, the video for yesterday's webinar, the soul contract webinar, should be in your mailbox now. Okay.
Yes, thank you. I got that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
That's great. I managed to stick around for this one. Thank you so much for this.
Nice to see you again. Okay.
Yes, thank
All right.
you.
So thanks, everybody. Nothing else? We'll go. Beata, you got another question? No. Okay, just saying goodbye. Okay. All right. Take care.
Again, Nicolas.
Bye.